think it's working. I hope it's good. All right. Oh, well, that's a weird spot right there. All right. This is something I haven't done in a while, a long time. All right. I'm just going to demonstrate what's been going on and what I've been doing. Um, I don't think it's bad, the audio. I think maybe it's a little quiet. Test, 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 test. Okay, it's not peaking. That's good. I'm going to be talking louder than that, but everything should be heard. So, some stuff. Uh, what is it? I am doing more traditional sculpting. I still do digital, still 3D print. But thanks to the power of 3D scanning, I'm able to do my traditional again. I find that traditional sculpting definitely keeps things more creative and kind of quicker to do things, and digital is great for refining, and then turning to game assets or make it into a 3D print file. You could change the size of it, all that stuff, use it in projects. Uh, I'm working on my game. I had a bit of an incident, so I had to take about a month and a half off from working on my game. Um, let's see. But I'm just gonna, you know, maybe chat a little bit. But I'm just gonna go over like how to get started with sculpting, I suppose. Um, I think that's a nice, fresh change of things. I was supposed to help teach earlier this year, maybe like a few months ago, but because of some things, I couldn't. Um, but yeah, so the way this works here is you got your armature, you got a wooden base. This is something you can get from Hobby Lobby, Joann's, Michael's. It's basically a plaque. You drill some holes in it. You get your wire. Uh, Other than the armature wire, which is the thick one, like this here, this is like a full figure armature. I just have prepped on the side. Um, See, it's a thicker wire, and then you got the wrap wire. I don't know if you can see that there. It's much thinner. It's used to wrap. That's what is wrapped around this right here. If I can have this focus right here. It's wrapped around so that the foil and clay can grab on. Foil right here is used as a filler, so you save on clay. I'm using monster clay. I used to use a polymer clay called Super Sculpey. There's also something called there's a flexible clay. I forgot what it's called, but it's a really cool. I say it's better than Super Sculpey because you can when after you cook it, it hardens, but it's rubbery. It doesn't crack. I forgot what it was called. Clay something. I don't know. But yeah. See, I just have a hole and put that in there. What this looks like underneath, which is where to go? Here it is. All right, here it is. Basically, that's all it is here. It's based like a stick figure. This is like the full figure right here. Full figure version. I keep everything very long. I haven't wrapped the wire like I have with this here. The smaller, thinner wire. I did do it here. My process making an armature is the like twisting and wrapping method. Some people use epoxies or whatever to hold it together. I take some pliers or a drill and I kind of twist them together like this here, and then I could cut the length I want with the limbs, or I could make it into something more animalistic here. This is something I was working on a while ago. I already 3D scanned it. This is basically starting piece for a friend here. I scanned it already, so it's from a game here. I trimmed up a little bit, so had some other details to it, but I had hold on, there goes. It's about to fall. I would not be surprised if that falls. I'm not worried about it. I already 3D scanned it. All right, cool. So let me see here. Let me get this foil out of the way since that's kind of done with. I know it's really late. It's like 2:49 a.m. for me. I just figured I wanted to do this. Maybe I'll do it again during some of the when people are awake. um, all right. Well, I just wanted to do this here. So the first thing you're gonna do, I got my clay here. Cool thing about monster clay. Let me see here. Yeah, there it is. You can see it right here. Monster clay. If it will, maybe it won't focus. This lens like might be dirty. There it goes. I think it was. Yeah, there it is. Medium. I'm not a fan of the hard, not the soft. The soft is way too soft. Um, you have to heat it up, and this is a reusable clay. Um, you take some of this clay here, and I should really melt it again. I could throw it in the microwave or whatever. The whole point is you want the basic shapes here. I just want to think about maybe doing a bust, maybe a simple little face. So I'm just going to take this clay and just kind of stick it. So what happens is I made this because I want to just practice messing around with faces. Then if I like a face, I'll 3D scan it. Or if I just feel like I want to make certain characters, I can, it's quick, easy access, and I could reuse the sculpture, and I could just 3D scan. 3D scanning is so fast. I could 3D scan this and like have a model ready in like 5 minutes of starting to scan. Really good. And this clay, oh my gosh, I guess I should show the tools as well. Most common tool I use, it's like a spatula, and it has a thinner point at the end. This is probably one of the most common. I don't think people appreciate it until they work more and more with clay. Uh, and then there's the paddle kind of thing. Oops, some clay on that. It's kind of like a flat ends right here. It's kind of thick, and then it has the. Actually, we turn the brightness up. Oh wait, maybe I just gotta turn it more, and then have it this way. So yeah, it's got a bit of thickness right there. This has a weird offset like angle here. This is great for like planing your piece. Maybe I'll talk about that in a bit. Wait, I have two of these? I guess I have two of these. I don't need both of them. A little excessive, but you kind of need like it's like a dentist tool. You just look for wax tools. No, I don't need that. You do need some tools that can carve, which you got some big loop tools, and you got the little loop tool right there. Nice little thing to kind of gouge out. Yeah. Gosh dang it all. I had melted this clay, and it's hardening a little fast because temperature has been pretty cool lately. During the summer, it would stay softer longer. I could easily throw it in the microwave for like 30 seconds. There's still a little clay in this. I could throw it in there. All right, but I think it's a good amount of clay. See, also this base right here, I repurposed it. I actually had intended to use this to make scenes for my game. I haven't really used it much for that. This could be like a tree or a pillar or something, and I was gonna have like rocks and formations and stuff like that all around it. But I'm not gonna demonstrate that right now. But you just kind of place the clay here, just all about like the shapes. Reposition this. Very important to get all different views. And oh my gosh, this lighting is terrible. What if I turn this light off? Okay, maybe I should just stay with that, or I need to get a new camera. Oh my gosh, I'm blinding myself now. I think it's because I have the light behind me. There it goes. Woohoo! All right, cool. All right, so let's see here. So what I'm doing is I'm looking at the shape overall. So I'm just trying to, it's almost like I have a stencil of it, and I'm making the 2D shape here. That's what I'm doing here, and then I'm just kind of repositioning, bending the armature. Aluminum is nice. Do not get steel. When I started sculpting, I'm like, oh, look at this. Steel is so cheap compared to aluminum. Oh, I'm a genius. Nope. Don't be cheap, I guess. Honestly, if you don't want to like struggle, oh my gosh, I was struggling so much when I started sculpting. Like knowing what I know now and stuff like that, I would definitely put the extra money down for way less wire that's easy to bend and pose. There's a limit to how clever someone can be. There's a limit. So basically, I'm just kind of looking at the overall shape. It's very important to understand kind of that egg shape that goes here. And then you got the neck. And then what you got to do is you just got to kind of put it there. And now it's not going to look right from another angle. It's all about just getting the overall shapes in each per kind of perspective. Let me go ahead and angle this here. And I'm I'm gonna get a new camera for sure. This camera I've had probably for like a few years. Um, the newer cameras have the light is too sharp. I need another light on the other side. You know what? What if I bring this light over here? Maybe this is better, right? Oh my gosh, I'm blind. Sorry. Oh. Okay, I think that's better right there. All right, cool. Yeah, that's better. All right, cool. It's better. It's focused. So right there, you got the light. What you want to do is, it's very important, is that you understand if you can draw, like drawing is very important. Like if you can understand the shapes, and that could come from basically drawing, that's great. See how it doesn't look right here from the front, but that's not important. I could just kind of reshape it, not mess too much of the front and back. Gotta mess with this now. So what you do is you got this part, which is the rib cage right here. Actually, I could probably bring this a little closer, in fact. Right here, there it goes. Yeah, I think we got a new camera. I'm using a web camera. I figured why not, I could kill two birds with one stone. Maybe I'll 3D scan this. I won't 3D scan it during the broadcast, but yeah, let's see here. What's going on here? I think it's tilted. All right, cool. All right, so the neck needs to be shaped better. You just gotta like, there's like gonna be holes and patches, so you just kind of lay that out there, build the shape, maybe give a better chin. Be careful with messing. You want to work on the in-betweens. In-betweens are basically like the three-quarter areas, not the, this is like the side view area, and this is like the front view area. So you just basically want to get the shapes down right there like that. Right there. It's very important. A lot of times when people start sculpting and stuff like that, they focus so much on details that they don't gain the primary forms of their piece, and then they struggle, you know. So let me see here. All right, now for the shoulders and whatnot, I like to get a couple. Depends. Typically, since this is a bust armature and not a full figure armature. It doesn't have the shoulders here. You know, it's just kind of like a rib cage, neck, and head. So what you do is you take this here, you make some orbs right here, and you just kind of pluck them here, and you just kind of blend the edges down right here. Now what you have to do is you got to check. Sometimes you just got to go side to side. Shoulders are back right here. All right, you got that right here. Right there. It is typically easier if you have an armature that already kind of has arms or whatever. Oh, whoa! He flew. Like, adios. Let me see here. So I'm just kind of moving and reshaping the armature a little bit because I just kind of threw the armature together. I didn't have any like real intention of doing anything with it. All right, so this is important right there. Um, I suppose I can kind of use some tools to kind of mark. All right, now ideally the shoulder should be about 2 heads length across. That's why the shoulders are so narrow, unless it's female, which in this case it would be about 1.5, I think, heads across. So knowing proportions is a little important. However, I don't know what's going on. I'm like, oh, my computer. Oh, shoot, I think I have my, oh, that's why. Hold on, I'm going to restart this here real quick. Okay, there it goes. I think it's back to normal. Okay. I think I had something on that I was messing with. It just kept, I think, reconnecting or something. All right, cool. So yeah, this is way too short because if I take this head here, you may want to have calipers or something with you when you're doing this here. Um, I don't know, so it's whatever. If you want, you can just draw a center line here. The nice thing about digital is that it's automatic, but however, as I said before, digital is kind of a little lackluster in a sense. I think the power of 3D scanning is going to help bring some of that traditional creativity back. It feels different when I sculpt traditionally. I feel like I have more freedom for sure. It's not important because the cool thing about 3D scanning is the fact that I could easily just put symmetry on when I import the model. I'm not sure I'm going to go over into all that. Now this is important here. This is just not right. This needs to be more square with the face right here. It's not Squidward. It's not Squidward. It just needs to be flatter here like this. I'm going to go for more of a stylized. Stylized is just, you got to understand. Now, there's a certain extent when it comes to stylize, you definitely still want to be able to stylize is just basically gesture and your how you translate gesture is what it is. I'm just going to add some other details. I'm going to add like this muscle right here to the neck. Just kind of blob it on right there. It's very important to know not geometry, anatomy. um, it's not important to have all this accurate. I could make Spider-Man pretty easily, but I'm not going to do that. So you got the muscles right here. There's also little muscles that go right here as well. I don't know if you can see that right there. It's the same muscle. It kind of splits right here, and then you got the collarbones. So I like to use this flat tool right here. It helps me kind of do this whole planar thing. I can just go ahead and make this for like the collarbone right there. Dig in right here, and that could like go here like this. All right. I want to make the shoulders bigger. They're bothering me, and I need to get a better camera. I saw on Amazon, there is a nice like a ring light actually on the camera, so I can like brighten this. I don't have to have this lamp right here. Esta lámpara está aquí cerca de mí. I've also been working my Spanish. It's not the greatest, but it's getting there. I'm just gonna, maybe I'll go for kind of a buff. I do have a character in mind that's gonna be kind of like a berserker, so I might make a little bit of a muscular kind of thing. Maybe, well, I'm not gonna, not maybe, I don't know. I'll go for a very masculine form. A masculine character with very masculine features. Why not? Come on. I got this clay here. It's cooling down too fast. All right. The whole thing is I'm just going to kind of clump this clay here. Ideally, what I do with monster clay is that I put the clay on, when it's soft on to make a base body, and then I give it some time to harden. And so that when I put new clay, it doesn't deform when it's like, when there's no armature or like anything to resist. Yeah, that's kind of the thing. Put this back right here. Oh my gosh, I'm off center. I'm going to put some other marks here just to keep things interesting. Now, it's okay, this is important. If you have the face here and you put the center line from the top of the head to the hair, that's the bottom of the eyes right there. So you put the eyes here and you put the eyes like right here, like around that general area right there. And then what you do is you just continue this line down right here. Then the halfway point is the bottom of the nose, and the halfway point there is kind of like the mouth. Oh my gosh, the light is washing it out. Whitewashing or light washing. I forgot. I don't know what the exact term is. My piece looks like a mess right now, but it's the middle of the night, and I just wanted to get this going. I was supposed to do this like, was it yesterday? I wanted to get something going like this. I need like a light here. I'm gonna probably get a posable light. I like to do some of the traditional here or something, just kind of like work. I was trying to do something like this I think digitally sculpt, but I wasn't a big fan of that. Just wasn't working out right. I was kind of awkward because I was trying to make different faces, and I feel like it was limiting my creativity. So there's that. I'm just gonna go very kind of flat. I'm gonna work on kind of the front view right here. I'm going to go ahead and actually give him some traps. Now, when I say traps, it's a trapezius. It's the muscle along the back and back of the neck, and like this muscle right here. Now, typically it's not very defined, but as I said before, I might go for kind of like a bit more. This muscle goes all. Oh my gosh! I'll be more official next time. I'm using the turntables for my 3D scanner as kind of like a base. Yeah, it's not the best idea for this here. Oh my gosh, this web camera thing notification is bothering me. Hide notification. There it goes. I'll go here. There it goes. Okay. Yeah, see, this side is not very good. You gotta go for something dynamic. This would probably come out more. This would be, I always like to have this come out. Ugh. Oh my gosh. Okay, there it goes. Got it. This clay is being very stubborn right now. I'm just taking these big old coils, and I'm just not even. I'm just trying to get that kind of look right here. I'm gonna put the pectorals here as well in contrast, and then probably pop this rib cage up a bit right here, right there, and I'll give him some decent pecs. I was working on one of my like main character for my game in clay, but I was using the hard version, and I found the hard way about how that was not a good idea. I want to bring this out more. I want to emphasize the collarbone more. So it's really about sometimes not even just being accurate. It's more or less what looks right, and that's how there's like styles that are created. I want to add this here for not the sternum, just for the sake of mass because it's not making sense right now. All right. I could always have some clay here. I always like to make kind of buff characters. I don't know. It's just kind of cool. You know, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball. I mean, I've just been heavily influenced by superhero stuff, comic books and animes. Um, and this neck needs to come out more with how big those traps are. Um, and then I'll just put this here. So it's very important that you have this. The muscle connects to the base of the skull right here. And this head is bothering me because it's too, the forehead is not looking right. I believe I'm not sure if there's a certain, okay, there it goes. I'm just going to make it very kind of square right there. There it goes. This clay needs to be. Okay. There it goes. Got it. It's like really getting tough. It's cold around here, so I want to just kind of stack this here. I'm just going to rework with my fingers. It's kind of like weight training when you're. Typically, I would use a thicker gauge wire for this, so if I put any pressure and stuff like that on this, it won't bend as easily. It has a good resistance. It has a good amount of resistance here. Yeah, so I'm just gonna kind of. It's a mess right now. I know. I think you know what I'll probably do is I do have thicker gauge wire. Where'd it go? Here it is. It's like a lollipop. See, this wire is like so much thicker right here. I would have probably used this for bus. I should have done it. What I did was I was looking for wire. I found this was part of a wing of that one piece I showed earlier. I was like, okay, cool, I use this, and I was a fool. But I guess I'm just going to do a little bit of this, and then what I'll do is, off camera, I'm going to probably get it to this point with a new armature, and yes, and do that, but yeah, we'll see. But yeah, so I'm just trying to do that. You know, if I want to, I could give him those lats right there. You can't see it all that well, but I'm adding lats. Kind of do this right here. Give it a little bit of more oomph to the shoulders right there. I suppose I can start adding the kind of the pecs right here. The pecs are this fan shape kind of thing right here that makes. I'll draw out the shape. It's very important you understand shapes when you sculpt. I highly recommend to have your own reference if you're kind of, you know, a reference in general is good. I'm not like doing this like exactly the way you should be doing it right now, but what you do is you draw the center line right here. Then what you do is you go here and then here. Now there is a separation in the deltoids, so I'm going to go ahead and do this right here, and then I'm going to bring these down more like this. So this, I'm just using this kind of reshape here, and then it's pressing, cutting, and kind of almost reshaping with this here. And I my some of my hand part of my hand were kind of injured, so um, I may have a hard time with doing certain things. So I might so I'm gonna go ahead and add some more mass right here underneath. Sometimes it's a matter of like working in planes. When I say planes, I don't mean the like the those all the aviones. You know, I'm not talking about like airplanes. I'm talking about things like flat surfaces in relation to each other. That's why this tool kind of comes in handy. I think I'm going to bend this back a little bit so I get the right angle so I don't collide with the base. So what you can do is you just kind of drag it across a kind of shape right here. I'm just going to go ahead and actually kind of dig here and go down at an angle because the pecs, the muscle travels along the rib cage, right, like a one or two below the lower rib before they combine down here. See, anatomy is important. Definitely say that you can't really sculpt or draw if you're not aware of the shapes and how they like work with each other. There's ways, but I'll show you a cool little way to get like decent looking packs here. What happens, it's fan shaped, so they stack and layer each other. So this one right here always kind of goes over, and then this one right here goes under that right there, and then this one could go underneath that one right there. So you have this kind of fan going right here. And what happens, they go over each other. So you want this one to basically, whoops. So you can take this here and then you can just kind of wrap it. I take this tool and I go like this with it. So I can kind of wrap the muscle underneath and like that right there. And then I can just kind of tuck that in right here. This pack is supposed to go in the along the top part of the is it called the humerus? Yeah, the humerus, which is the upper arm bone. So actually, I think I'm gonna just hold it like this. Yeah, see, there's a lot of stuff right here that needs to be patched up. See, it's a lot of empty space. Typically, you would have a reference image, and what you would do is you would make the armature and then you would add the aluminum foil according to the sketch or drawing you're using, so that you don't have to use a lot of clay to stack on top of it. Yeah, maybe I'll keep it in my hand here. Actually, it feels like so much easier actually keep it in my hand here. So I'm going to do that. The collarbone is relatively thin here. Now, uh, these pecs are supposed to go, onto the collarbone. That's why the collarbone kind of, what is it? I can't think right now. Oh my gosh, this light is like in my eyes. I'm going to put it right here then. Go right here, then this one right. Actually, I like to keep it in three because there is the middle, lower and that's fine. It's kind of more triangular, and if you just kind of repeat the pattern right here, and then what happens, I always like to have this kind of thing right here because with the obliques or with the abs, you got like this. I like the whole superhero kind of thing right here. Now this is kind of not like realistic, but it looks cool, and that's why comic books do it. You have the muscles kind of come up right here. Oh my gosh, come on. I'm getting a new camera for sure. I'm going to order it after I'm done with this broadcast. Let's see here. I'm just going to probably, let me see here. Hold on. Put you back in right here. As you can see, it's getting there. I don't think I'm gonna make him like that buff because if I was gonna make him as buff as I said I was gonna make him, I would have added more more aluminum foil. But I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try tomorrow, not broadcast, but prepare a couple different armatures for muscular and muscular, slim. Yeah, muscular. Yeah, I would say muscular and normal. Um, But yeah, so I'm just gonna kind of put some more filler in here. I'll work with whatever face. I think I'm gonna do a quick basic face and shapes and nose. So I'm just gonna. Now you don't have to worry about having like, you don't want to have like air pockets and stuff like that. All right, now let's go ahead and start See, things are looking better the more I work on this here. Um, Everything I'm doing here is easily translatable to digital sculpting. All right, like basically, if you're good at doing traditional, your skill from traditional will translate quite well to yeah. See, that's looking good. Like, dang, just go back and check the footage right here. You got the what is it called? Adan. I'm thinking of the Adam's apple in Spanish. I'm like, that was one of the things I was learning on drops. Uh, was that Ana de Adan? Just kind of putting some filler in. So what you do is you work a lot with coils and worms and snakes, I guess you can call them. Now this is important. This muscle here, um, what happens is it comes from the base of the neck here and then curves around here like this. And there's sections here. Now I'll work on the back here a bit more in a bit. But what happens is you got the. It's very important. So the drawing comes in handy. Comes handy. I can't speak. It's too late. And then you got the delta that comes here. So that means this needs to be pushed in right here. Right there. And then what happens, you got the traps that come right here, and you got the spine that comes from you got to put the spine right here. Oh, this is so lopsided. Well, this is not meant to be centered right here. Um, I just did whatever. It was not the most professional armature. I'm just going to go ahead and kind of add now those lats as well, the lats. So what happens is this comes here and then goes right here. The lats come here, and that's where the shoulder blade is right here with the muscles right here. The teres major and the minor. Um, so I'm going to go ahead and actually add this in as a big old coil here to add to that muscle right here, to the top right there. I see. You don't have to like know the name as long as you're aware what it is. I'm out of practice with talking about how to what the muscles are. I just know like lats, the traps, trapezius. Oh my gosh, this clay is quite cold. All right, what you do is you can like just smack this in right here, and then you take this right here. What happens is this lat muscle actually goes underneath the traps, but I'm just gonna go ahead and just kind of place it here for right now. And then there's like a kite like shape, like a that goes to like the tailbone. So I don't have the rest of it, but I know it's there. So what I do is there's a middle section of this right here that goes here, and then there's the top section. I'm gonna put this actually right over this here. Looks messy right now, but I promise you saw what happened with it so far. I would just recommend skipping. Skip. Um, I have been thinking about releasing a series of maybe, I don't know, I'm not sure, on YouTube. I was thinking like a tutorial, because there's things I wish that were mentioned in when you're learning how to do art, uh, things to keep in mind. I think a lot of people that make lessons think kind of the same, similar ideas. Now I know it's not symmetrical. I'm just going whatever right now. Don't worry. I'll just go ahead and I guess I should do it. Oh my gosh, this thing. I need a legit thing. So what I'll do is I'll draw everything out here. So you got that. You got this right here. Oh, I'm just going to go ahead and use my nail here, and I'm going to go ahead and dig my nail here. I'll go ahead and start lifting it up right here. Then I'll pull this up right here. And then I'll go ahead and start adding this clay right here. Ideally, you want to work everything in like the same time. So you end up using both hands for like shaping and for symmetry. It's like symmetry mode for digital, basically using both hands. A little more symmetrical for sure. Bring this in. So what you do is you just kind of take your finger and just kind of like try to mirror the other finger. And this nail's gonna fall off. Don't mind that. That was part of my injury. Um, that right there. This needs to come in more. The problem is here is that this goes up, but I should really be seeing these side muscles. I don't want to make them too muscular in the sense, but these need to be seen right here. So I'm gonna go right here, and this one right here. It's very interesting because these muscles right here are really tiny to attach to the base of the skull right here. They basically just attach right here for the traps. It's very interesting. I highly recommend to look into anatomy and just sculpt the muscles. Just apply the clay according to the muscles. Yeah, making him quite a bit beefy. It's kind of fun making the superhero like esque bodies. Now this is important right here because what happens is this muscle here, it goes, and as I said this earlier, it goes here. So that means when you apply this clay, just make sure you apply it according to like. Also, you just gotta really. So it wraps around, so it goes whoop right there, and then this muscle right here. So it goes like right there. So what you do is, sometimes sketching in and applying the clay there. There is a little spot right here for the spine that sticks out, that protrudes. I'm not going to go into that right now. But yeah, see, it's getting that shape right there, which is looking pretty nice. I don't know how long I'm going to be sculpting right now. Well, it shows me how long I've been sculpting. I'm just saying, I think what I'm going to do is work a bit on the deltoid right here. Deltoid is this. The deltoid is in 3 parts, by the way. You got the middle, the front, and the back. The middle overlaps the front and the back. So if you add this piece right here, and then you have the front right there. Now this is important to make sure that this clavicle continues. Where did it go? Where did that clay go? I'm just going to destroy everything, aren't I? Alright, cool. So, oh, here it is. It was right there the whole time. And then, so what happens is this clavicle is kind of dropping a little too much. So what I want to do is, look at this side right here, push this up right here, so that this actually makes sense. The deltoid tends to be tear-shaped. I want to go through this here, because the shoulder blade goes about halfway down the humerus, the upper arm bone. So I think that's about right. And then this muscle wraps up to here. There it goes. I know what I'm doing. I don't know. I'm not like 100% prepared. And the interesting thing is that since this muscle overlaps and there's muscle here, because the let me go ahead and draw this out right here. So this would be where the scapula would be right here. This little thing right here, but the muscle wraps over it. So what you would do is you would add that inspiratus minor, I think it's called. And this is the major muscle right there for the shoulder blade. What you would do is then you would take this clay and then you would put it over that and then tuck it in. Tuck this all in right here, and you would have kind of like that muscle right there. It's a little flat right there along the traps. Ugh. I know what I'm doing. This clay is so cold. Not when I say cold, I mean like room temperature night. I will probably. Okay, cool. No, this side alone is looking pretty good, pretty muscular. I will probably, just for the heck of it, just probably throw the chunk of the arm here. So what I like to do is, it's spheres, cylinders, coils, worms. That's all it is. And if I can just peel this clay bloody off. Okay, cool. I got certain characters that I don't think I can actually show the character designs I'm working on for my game. Well, I know I can because I don't know spoilers, But I worked on a good handful of the monsters. They look pretty cool. Is there anyone I could show? No, I can't. Okay, so let's see here. So what I'll do is just for the heck of it, let's go ahead and just throw some cut off arms, I suppose you can say. When I mean cut off, this just kind of looks funny without the whatever. So what I do is I just take this and just kind of put on like an arm right here. And this looks cool. And what happens is that this deltoid wraps around the bicep. So what you want to do is you just want to make sure you have something right here like this. And then you just go like that, and it's kind of like a teardrop. And you want to make it kind of like, I don't know how to say, like tight or wrapped. I don't know. It has this dynamic kind of goes into the arm right there. I'll do the same thing to the other side. And this is looking pretty good. Honestly, I feel like don't get me wrong, digital is great, but I feel like it's not the same. I feel like there's a certain style lost. I don't know how to explain it. Take that and then kind of tuck that in, and then go right there. The cool thing is when you do digital, you can easily like grow it, or you can move it out and change the shape of it much faster than you could do with clay, because you have to add on top of it, or you have to like do the technique of taking like a spatula, you dig it in and you pull it forward and you stuff it with clay. There's different techniques, but the move tool is a fun tool for. I'm just gonna actually kind of smooth that out. Take this here, use my hands right here. Now there needs to be a gap here. There's a pit in the neck right here. You got to keep it in mind. So these are like little style things you got to keep in mind here, and then you got to do that. And what I like to do is take this here, and then I can just kind of shape out. Now I'm gonna go from here and across to like level it right there. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to tuck it. I'm going to like dig into it to kind of create like this, kind of this drawing along the collarbone, basically. Because what happens, the muscles, muscles connect usually bone to bone kind of thing, usually. That's what they usually do, yes. I'm like, is that right? Dig that right there. Um, you can do whatever you want if you want to emphasize a certain way. Typically, the pecs go over the muscle. That's why we see bodybuilders. You don't see their collarbones anymore because the muscles built up so much on it that it kind of like becomes one in a sense, like it hides. So I'm just gonna take this here and I'm gonna kind of blend it down this way here, and then I'm gonna go underneath right here, and then kind of wrap underneath right there. Get that pec right there. Cool stuff. Take this here. As I said before, there's that little muscle right here. This muscle splits right there. And there's a bunch of also like this thin, I don't know, a set of tendons or something. It's like a strip, almost like a cable. What's that cable called? Ribbon cable. And that's why you could just put a bunch of like these coils of clay along the side. You could blend it down to get like that strained neck look. I forgot what the muscle's called. Sternocleidomastoid. No, that's what this muscle is. And what you do is you just want to basically make sure there's that triangle, then you blend this into one shape right there, and then make sure this is more defined. I don't know. Maybe I'm just going too fast. Whatever. I think I just got to work on stuff. We'll see. Put this muscle right here, and so the deltoid right there, and then dig that in right there. That looks pretty good. Alright, then let's go ahead and draw across. So remember, as I said before, you got this here. Let's start working on like the things of the face. So you got this right here. I guess I got to make it a little deeper because the light is like straight on it. I'm just going to go ahead and actually do this. I want to dip into it right there. And actually, I gotta make the center line again. As I said before, don't worry about, well, at least I don't have to worry about it. Actually, I'm gonna use this back end right here to kind of go here. I'm doing like the plane method, I suppose. They got the nose right there, which is about halfway right here. This right here for the mouth. I'm going to take a little bit of clay. Now I'm going to have to use a smaller bit of tools here. Also, I got to dig this into here because there's got to be this nose right there, and then this right here. It's been a while since I've done a study of the face. I should really do that again. I'm not saying I need it right now, but there's definitely things I could work on with that. And then what happens is you got like these, you got the temples here and the cheekbones. So it's important to understand all of that right there. You got the chin right here. Sorry, it's just like, I'm just going to end up hopping around. Basically, I'm adding certain features to things. What I like to do is I like to make sure I really emphasize kind of the brow. So I'm gonna show by coils, I guess. All right. So what you do is you take this coil here, make it thinner actually. So the brow line goes here and then goes up right here. This is gonna be very it's like a Thanos, I suppose. And you got the cheekbones here, which go from like here and then like here. Oh, you got the jaw right here. I could make it flare out. But you gotta keep in mind the jaw and the muscles go like to underneath the cheekbone right here. And then you could have it like be very square right there. Like that. I like the square jaw right there. You could throw an ear, I suppose, on there real quick. Now this is important because this right here, I say do a skull study. That's actually one of the things I was going to intend to have for my tutorial. And what you want to do is you got to keep in mind that this needs to be here like this, the nose, and then you got to understand that the lines of the face, the muscles, this goes up and under the jaw, and then there's this muscle right here, and there's a muscle that goes across right there. Now, you don't have to sculpt those ones. You just need to know certain like shapes. I'm just going to add more to the cheekbone right here. Now, you don't have to make the skull. There's techniques. I'm just going for a very kind of mask. I could just see. I don't have to add. I could just like dig into it to kind of form something, make it similar. It's very important, sometimes it's hard to like control the size of things. But like the size of things, sometimes when you're making the face, you make the eyes too big. The eyes are much smaller than you think. All right, they're much smaller than you think. So when you sculpt them, I definitely need a better camera. I'm looking at the video feed right now. Let me see if I can enlarge that on my side so I can see. Okay, whatever. Right now, it's messing with the shadows right now. Okay, yeah, I definitely need a light from above. Yeah. What if I put this here front like this? No, it washes it out. Let me see if I can lower this here. Okay, we'll work with this here. A little washed out. Oh, it's showing my laptop here. Okay, I got a lamp and a webcam in front of me right now. Just kind of blending these things in. It's gonna be like magic here in a bit. What happens here? Like you're gonna miss. Then just draw. Just basically, it's a lot of smoothing with my fingers here. And then this goes down right here. And you just got to make sure this goes around. It goes down from the nose here, around the mouth, right there. Whoop, right here. And I'm just gonna blend this down, whatever. That's the nice thing is just a lot of blending the edges down. Um, just very important. Just take this here, just use your hands and just kind of use it as a symmetry kind of thing. Just make sure you're just following the skull. I know that's kind of a little tough to say exactly what that means. Uh, what happens is you just got to make sure you know how the skull is. The cheekbones go inwards, um, and then the jaw is actually much higher, and then the chin sticks out right there. Now this is important so you know how the eye cavity and stuff works. Typically a skull is like this like a square almost with the inner edge upwards more in the bottom, so almost like a sad skull. Uh, I can't with my thumb here. I think my nail's too long. I'm going to go ahead and smooth this out right here. You want to watch Bleach? I don't expect you want it to be up right now. It's like 3 in the morning and maybe 6 in the morning for the East Coast. Oh, my nose. Haven't sculpted this clay in like a month and a half. I've said before, been off, resting because of I was a little injured. I would probably use ballpoint tools for the face right now. It's kind of hard to use my fingers because everything's kind of getting in the way. You can use the coil, whatever. Coils for the lip. Coils are just important in general. The bottom lip right there. Typically, you put the bottom lip. You put the top lip after the bottom lip because the top lip kind of goes over it in a sense. Just kind of quick example right there. And I think a jaw is lost right there, so I'm gonna try to bring that back right there. So let's see if I could draw out these shapes for you guys. Oh, I'll use this tool right here. All right, so what happens is this. You got the jaw right there. You got this right here. And you got this line right here for the cheekbone. Then you got this right here. This right here is the skull, like temple right here. You got that line right there. So see, it's just like that cheekbone right there, then this right here. Now you could mess with these shapes because everyone is like different in the sense, like just the proportions for these muscles and stuff like that. It's actually a little too far back. I'm gonna bring this in right here so you can see. Like that right there, and then you take this right here. Now it's important with this lip right here. That I'm not saying it's like a pout. This needs to be. No, this isn't right. Actually, I need this side of the tool. There it goes. You can see a little better, I think, right? Let me actually see if I can turn this light off. I think that. Yeah, I definitely need a better camera here. That's the reason why I like digital, because my camera setup is not good right now. I could make him angry and stuff like that if I want to. If you want to make him angry and stuff, I need to turn this guy to me real quick, so I can make him a little more symmetrical. You gotta understand, I'm fighting the camera and whatever. I guess I'll add the ball to the nose. So what you do is you add a little bit of this right here to the nose. A friend of mine would say cluster of 3 with the nose. Oh my gosh, where'd it go? well, he would. It was. And I'll just go ahead and kind of sculpt that around. Push this in right here. Kind of shape that right there. I'm using multiple parts of the tool. I suppose that's kind of the advanced thing here. I'm using it as a clay scraper and a tool to draw. It's multi. And then the thing is about these eye sockets is that you gotta like. There's a bit of skin right here, so I don't know what the shape is exactly. I suppose it's something of a triangle. Put this up right here. Raise this section up a bit, I suppose. Bring this down, so I suppose I'll make him angry. Batman! No. You can mess with the cheekbones. If you want them really defined, have them really protrude right here, you can do that right there. Just basically following like what a skull, how a skull is. After this broadcast, which is going to probably be over soon, because I can go ahead and go over this and refine this. I should probably demonstrate a skull. That's going to be one of the things I'm going to do, is going to demonstrate. I demonstrated through digital sculpting one time, a while ago. It looks pretty good right now. For something with two objects in front of me. So this muscle, so the skull goes like this. There's that, and then there's, so what happens is at the back of the skull, there's a little part for the traps right here, and then there's a little bit of bone that sticks out that goes down that attaches this muscle right here down, and it kind of goes underneath the jaw a little bit. The sternomastoid. See, I tell you, I'm not good at this. Let me add this ear here. Why not? I'm getting tired of seeing his face like that. Now, ears are typically from the eyelid to the bottom of the nose. That's a good thing to kind of know. There's a technique to making ears. Not difficult if you understand like how the ear works, the helix and all that stuff. But yeah, there's that right there. Now I know he doesn't have an ear over here, but man, this piece is looking pretty good. I was a little worried. Right now it's like quite rough, and I'm actually I feel like I do better without being recorded, or like not live. Oh my gosh, I think this is the wrong tool. I do have a clay shaper. Clay shaper are rubber tip tools. I'm gonna put this ear like over here for just the time being. I'm not gonna like refine it right now. I can't really see all that well. And then look at the camera right now as my set of eyes. By camera, I mean like the video feed. Yeah, I'm not. I could easily. Even buff superheroes are probably one of the easiest things to do. Actually, they're most. I don't know. I want to say the easiest. There's certain things you can do with the muscles. I have a certain style. Let me show you what I made. I made this years ago. Let me see. I have it sitting around. See, this is when you know how to work with muscles. See, there's the armature wire. This is the super sculpey. It's all cracked because super sculpey, when you bake it, hardens, but heat and with temperature changes, it causes it to expand and shrink. I 3D scanned this already, so I have a copy of it. But yeah, see, that's what I should use as an example. But see the pecs, the fan shape, and then the rib cage right here, the shoulder, the bicep, the forearm muscles. See, this is the triangle shape right here, the little spot for the spine. how it fans right here, the shoulder blade muscles, the teres major, teres minor, or I think that's what it is. I don't know, something. There's this muscle that connects from the spine to the shoulder blade that is seen a little bit. You got the lats right here. See that kite shape right there? This muscle goes and ties under up here. It overlaps the, oh my gosh, these muscles, serratus anterior. The abs, the legs right here. You got the three muscle groups right here. The fourth quad is hidden underneath this muscle. That muscle, I forgot what it was called. Got this right here, the glutes, the hamstrings. It's a good study. I really like how the face turned out for this piece. You know, everyone knows Max. It's Max right there. I should really open it with this. Good to know. I'll do that next time. I had the piece sitting on the side right here. Great. I know what I'm doing with sculpting. Okay. I think I should probably wrap it. I got my clay right there, my tools. This will cool down. It's pretty cool right now, but I'm gonna work probably this on kind of my own time. But we'll do a quick little turnsy round. You know, a little everywhere. This side is a little more refined. I'm gonna work on this a bit. Probably after I wake up. It's the middle of the night. It's 3:46. It's looking pretty good right here. But yeah, did put any music on. I had music ready. Yeah, see, I need to just make this more symmetric. Put some emphasis on this. So this is where the separation between that and that right there. This muscle needs to be more like this right here. Now, there's typically a separation right here because for bodybuilders, the muscles get so big that the sternum is kind of like hidden and becomes like this deep crease. And then it's kind of the same with the clavicle. When the muscles get really big, they kind of like the skin almost wraps over the clavicle and the pecs almost as one. So it looks like they just got these big old like pecs. There's like, oh, look, they're not even attached to bone in a way. But the sternum is, you know, here. But okay, enough, I guess, of the anatomy lesson, I suppose. I could go into details of like anatomy, shapes, and forms and gestures with it. Maybe another time. But I think this was just a fun little thing for me to do right now. I said I was going to do it, and I needed to do it. But I will try to see if I can get that camera, and if I do this again, it will probably be Thursday. Yeah, I think so. Well, thanks for watching. I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, work on my game using clay 3D scan. Maybe I'll make some sort of environment on one of these bases or